Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we have some important things to talk about on the southern and eastern front lines. Last night I actually had a dream that the front looked like this or something, so it was nice to wake up and see these developments. The main thing we're going to talk about today is the Ukrainian progress around Klishchivka south of Bakhmut. The Russians have a very large fortification network north of Klishchivka in this little circle right here, and Ukraine has been gradually surrounding it by capturing the areas around it. Just yesterday they made this push south of Bakhmut and north of Klishchivka to take over another forest network above here, and sometime in the past week they also were able to establish control of the forest south of this major fortification. There was a telegram post earlier that said that the Russians were leaving Klishchivka. However, it's unclear if they actually did or not. What they may have been saying was that they left the town but kept the fortification, or left the fortification but stayed in the town. The good thing is, if Ukraine is able to surround and take over this fortification, they'll have about an 80-meter height advantage, which is just going to make taking the actual settlement itself a lot easier. A lot of Russian sources were worried about Ukrainians liberating Klishchivka because that would apparently give them fire control over the supply into Bakhmut. This map is extremely overwhelming and makes almost no sense, but it shows how Ukraine has fire control over all of the roads that lead into Bakhmut. And even at some of the supply roads' highest points, Ukraine still has over a 70-meter advantage to see them. Fire control basically means they can fire artillery at incoming supplies, which makes it a lot harder to resupply an area. Okay, let's get this clutter off the screen. But this is why the Russians are fighting so hard for Klishchivka. They brought in a lot of reserves to attempt to slow down this advance, and setting up a big strong point and having Ukraine go around it sounds very similar to stuff that happened in Limon and the east part of the Kherson front. We're going to have to see if the claims of the Russians abandoning Klishchivka were actually true, because if so, that would be very big for this part of the front. In the past couple of videos, I talked about how if Ukraine takes Klishchivka, this gives them good access into the heights above. What? What happened? This gives them access to the plain north of what is going on? Oh, my program broken. I didn't turn you back on. Turn off. What are you doing? So if Ukraine can get positions north of Kurdyumivka, this lets them flank the settlement easier and get access to this hill by Zaporizhzhia, which would be a very good tactical place to have. Now we'll transition to what's going down on the southern front line. There's been no videos or anything, but the ISW, which is a pretty credible source, has marked Prigozhin as liberated on their map. I think the way that this happened was likely when the Ukrainians took over Rivnopil, they started to expand further out into the areas south of it, which led to them being to the north and the west of it, which made them retreat. And now with this area and settlement under their control, this just gives them a plain that they have to fight through to reach Staromyorsk and Staromlinivka. The difference in elevation in this area is like 4 meters, so the Russians don't have a major advantage here. If they're able to liberate Staromlinivka, this puts them right up to the Russian defense line in an area where they're not expecting them to be. So we're just gonna have to keep watching this area develop, and that's all I got for you guys. I'm sorry I couldn't upload videos, my power is having trouble, it's whatever. See you guys later.